if you're interested in digital marketing, you can grow your business. But there is a formula. There is an art to web development and online marketing, and there's a science to it. And we're going to talk about how to use AI to reach both of those goals. I have a really simple diagram here. Really, really simple. It's in the middle. The website is at the hub, okay? Now, everything that you create on your website should have a digital footprint that begins with your website. With your Google Analytics tracking code on your website, Google sees who is coming, how many people are coming, how long are they staying, how are they interacting, what are they doing, are they coming back later? The primary thing you need to focus on with your digital marketing is the experience of your website, making it engaging and fun. Now, Google is looking at the technology side. How fast does it load? How quickly, how light are your pictures, right? All the technology side. However, if you are not addressing the experience of the website, it does not matter if your website is fast or has a lot of traffic. So you have the website, which is your hub. Once you have a really great foundation, the way that you build your digital footprint online is by 3 components. Number 1 on the bottom right is content creation. We need to be creating new content. Number 2, link building. Building back to your website, having other people introduce your website. And number 3 is pay-per-click advertisements. In its most simple format, that's the formula for growing traffic online. With our experiment in AI today, we're going to walk away with the bottom right-hand corner taken care of. In about 25 minutes, I'm going to help you create a 12-month marketing plan with content to post. 25 minutes? Can you block out 25 minutes a year to do your marketing? Now, do you need to spend more than 25 minutes? Yes. But AI is going to catapult us into the next level. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. In the 1800s, there was a job of somebody that was a window tapper. What they would do is they would get these really long poles, and they would tap on the windows of their clients on the 2nd or 3rd story to tell them to wake up. Do we have window tap? That would be creepy now. But that job no longer exists. Why? Because the technology changed. Somebody invented a rooster. Ta-da! Right? And so we have an opportunity, and there's been several moments in history when something significant changed in our technology that transformed the globe. The creation of the wheel. Being able to control and harness and manipulate and utilize fire. Way fast forward, the cassette tape. Right? You guys make mixtapes in the 90s? There are no longer mixtape DJs, you guys. It's so sad. But other significant portals was the beginning of the internet. My first email I got my first semester, and I had to go to the library to check my email. And then we have our smartphones. We just walked through another portal. Portal sounds like a kind of a mystical, magical word, and I'm using that word on purpose because if you don't walk through the portal with your business, the portal still exists. And so we can choose either to be afraid of the technology and to avoid it, or we can leverage it. It's up to you. Either way, totally fine. You could hire a window tapper, but you probably don't, right? You say, hey Siri, set an alarm for 6:15. You talk to your alarm clock, right? It's amazing. So what does that have to do with a sandwich? What I'm going to recommend, regardless of how deeply you're using this, whether you're entrenching in data and formulas and software, or if you're creating pictures, all of your inputs and outputs should be started by a human with intention, with vision, with passion, with poetry, and it should be ended with a human. So you get your data input, and then you manipulate it, you edit it, you tweak it, you give it more data. Now the really cool thing is an AI sandwich could be piece of bread, meat and cheese piece of bread, followed by bacon and lettuce and tomato, followed by a piece of bread. We're going to have a big sandwich because we're going to be the piece that pulls it all together. Okay? My husband is a computer programmer. He is our lead developer at Jambojon. He's an incredible, incredible programmer. Last week he wrote code in one day that he said would have taken him 8 had he had to do it by himself. Okay, so let's say we make $100 an hour times 7 days of work, which is $56 an hour, right? 7 days times $100 an hour. How much revenue is that we saved in billable time to our own investment? What if I'm a business owner and the value I provide for a client is 7 days or 8 days worth of programming? What if it's $7,000? Let's make easy math. And now I can do it in 1 day's time, but the value my customer got is the same, so I can still charge that much more. I can still charge that amount to my customer because of the value, but I'm able to 7 times my revenue because of time. Is anybody else excited about that? That is huge. So always remember, your human touch is represented by the bread and sandwich. Human input, AI output, human input, repeat. Now, what we're going to do today is we are going to actually make a plan. So if you brought your phone, grab your phone. If you brought your laptop, grab your laptop, because I actually want to do the work together. I want to work while we're working. Is that okay? So you walk out of this building with experience and with something that you can use today. So grab your laptop, open it up, grab your phone, open it up. And if you guys haven't yet, open up ChatGPT. In our company, we talk a lot about good, better, best. Good is like satisfactory. And sometimes when we're getting a project done, I was like, I want to get good out the door, knowing I'm going to get to better and best eventually. Today's output you're going to create is good. But the more you play with it and the more you invest in the technology, you're going to create best practice. Okay? We're going to go a little bit generic today for the exercise to see how quickly you can get through it, but then I want you to incorporate your own information. So on the bottom right, you'll see steps 1 and steps 2. In your worksheet, it's the exact same thing that you have in your worksheet. And I wanted you guys to be able to take it with you so that when you go home or when you go back to the office, you can recreate this experiment when you have more time to process. All of the photographs on the right are the ChatGPT that I got out when I ran this for my business, for Jambojon. Okay? So you guys can see kind of the output. So number 1, you're going to type in to ChatGPT, I run a business with a, and you're going to say either physical store or a digital presence or whatever describes your business, located in X, and I sell Y. So I want you to input your data in that singular sentence. Now, before you hit enter, we're going to add a second sentence to that. So I would say, I run a business with a digital presence located in, and I sell website development. I want you to add a second sentence to your ChatGPT. The next sentence you're going to add to ChatGPT, please ask me 20 questions about my business that will help to build a well-rounded marketing campaign. You're going to have ChatGPT create the questions first. This is what will help amp up your campaign. And then I want you to hit enter, and we're going to let it run. Okay, so we have our questions next. Now, what you're going to do next is you're going to say, after the results are shown, reply, answer these questions to the best of your ability. This is when ChatGPT is going to pull data from the internet and from the data points that already exist in the public forum to answer questions in terms of your industry. The really cool thing about this is once you get the answers from ChatGPT, and you can put a little asterisk on the worksheet here, this is where I want you to put another piece of bread. This is where I want you to import from your mind and from your heart the actual results of this question. The next assignment is you can copy and paste it, the answers, or you can say based on the above answers, depending on, you can play with it. But you say, based on the above answers, develop me a marketing plan based on the information I provided above. Now, this is where it gets really fun. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, is that we can say, well, we don't need Goldman, or we don't need, because we've got this thing. We still have to become. As human beings, we still have to become. I have a daughter named Anna who's an artist. She is surrounded by artists who believe they can't make money making art. They believe, number 1, that they can't make money making art, and number 2, now there's this AI that's happened. And you know what? I look around the room, look at that cool sign. And look at the cool panda. And look at all those logos behind you. And look at that light fixture. There's so much abundance. But as a people, we have to be. We can't let AI lead our nation. We have to lead our nation. So it's like, can we leverage it? Yes. Are we giving away our job because there's this new tool? No. We're just doing less work. We have our own assistant, right? Okay, the next prompt. Based on the marketing plan above, make a 12-month marketing calendar. Include a monthly theme, 4 blog post articles, titles with a keyword for each. This is where it gets so fun. When you start exporting this much data in AI, you may see at the bottom, it might say, we've done this work. Would you like us to continue? And you say, yes, continue. Now you'll notice this is what ChatGPT came up for Jambojon. The theme was New Year, New Online Presence. The networking / B2B topic is the importance of refreshing your website for the new year, and I have 4 amazing blog post titles. 5 signs your business website needs a new year makeover. Would you guys read that? I would read it. New year, new features, top website additions for 2024. Why responsive design is your website's New Year's resolution. Maximizing SEO strategies to start the new year right. Is that so cool? The next thing that we're going to do, we're going to drill down even farther. Because now you have your big plan now. You could print it off and be like, the next 12 months, we know what we're going to do. But I want to show you that you guys can be doing specific tasks as well as big picture planning. So before we dive into the prompt, I want to teach you guys a little bit about SEO. Do you guys want to rank better? Do you guys want to get more traffic? Do you guys want to be an industry expert? I'm going to give you guys some secrets that are not on the slides, so you're going to have to take notes. My mentor who taught me this he's one of 2 Google certified PPC clinics in Utah, okay? Everything that I know, I learned from him. I'll give him all the credit. But this is what you need on every landing page, on every blog post, okay? You have to decide what your keyword is. And how you decide your keyword, the easiest way to say is, how would somebody search for this article if they didn't know the name of my company? Okay, so Carissa, for example, New York style pizza in Park City. I'm not going to order New York style pizza when I live in Utah if I'm not going to order it and have it delivered across the state. It has to be a local search, right? Versus somebody that sells a product that you can ship and might not have a geotag to it. How would somebody search for this page if they didn't know my name? The interesting thing with the phones now is it's changed how we've searched. In the olden days of internet search, when it was just your desktop, you might say, New York style pizza, Park City. And now I'm going to say, hey Siri, where's the closest pizza shop in Park City? Do you have to reflect that in the language of your landing pages? So the cool opportunities, you can create more pages using questions and search queries and schema markups with different types of search-related inquiries. Very cool, right? Okay, your keyword has to be in 4 locations on your landing page. It has to be in the URL. If you're building on a CMS platform like WordPress or Square or Wix, typically when you label the page at the very beginning, that will be the URL. You need it on your heading 1 tag, which is your title of your page. You need it on a subtitle or an H2 tag. And you need your keyword inside of your paragraph copy. Here's something so cool. If you follow this formula for your website, your pay-per-click ads will be less expensive and you'll be at higher ranking. Why? Google wants your advertisement to match what you deliver or else it makes them look bad. So if you deliver on your promise with your advertising, with your landing page, you can bid at a lower price and win, but they will actually prioritize your content over somebody that's paying more because you deliver a more consistent message. So we have our keyword in 4 locations. You need to have your keyword in your metadata, your meta title, and your meta description. That means so when you have a search result show up on Google and it has a blue title and black text, that's your metadata. And if you don't decide what your metadata is, your website will decide for you. And usually, it's not as pretty. Your photography on your website landing page should have your keyword in it too, labeled in the image data before you import it. Okay? I just gave you I know that's really simple, probably one of the most valuable tools you can incorporate into your marketing campaign was that strategy. Most of you won't be managing your own website, and if you're not teaching your admin or your marketing professionals to do this, you're gonna have a Franken-site that has no SEO juice. So you have your keyword in your H1, H2, H3, that stands for heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. Your URL, your meta title, your meta description, your photography. Bonus! I know, you're so excited. Wait, there's more. Google wants you to have a link to another place on your own website. So you want to go to the About Us page, or you want to take you to your services page, or you want to take you to another location on your website. And Google wants to see you link to another location off of your website. Most fearful business owners don't want to do it. They're like, you put a link on my website. I'm like, Google wants you to do that. So you can, if you have another location off your website, like a LinkedIn profile, or an Eventbrite page, or a Facebook page, you can cross-link to your own collateral. But don't be afraid of linking to somebody else in your industry or an expert in your industry. Google wants to see that. Okay, so our next activity on ChatGPT, I want you to grab an article title that you were really intrigued by in your yearly calendar. It doesn't matter which one you get, but you'll have to paste it. So we're gonna say, write a 400-word blog post for the article, and then insert your title. Now you'll notice what I'm doing here now that I've taught you about keywords. Please include the keyword, write a 400-word blog post for the article, how to dance on a Mexican beach, with the focus keyword, Mexican beaches. And then please include the keyword on the title, subtitle, and in the paragraph copy. Okay, go ahead and hit enter. And while you're waiting for that to process, I'm going to tell you some data, because data's fun. Google expects your article to be at least 300 words. So you have to hit a 300-word threshold. Do an audit on your whole website. If you have pages that don't have 300 words, use ChatGPT to bolster it to at least 300 words. That being said, on average, the websites that show up in the top 10 search results on Google have 1,400 words. The other really cool thing you can do is actually the most important links you can get are links from other locations to your website. It's called link building. That's probably the most important thing you could do, and it's the thing you have the least control over. But if you look at the people in the room and you go connect with people in your cohort, you guys could be cross-linking to each other's websites. Have you guys heard of Jane Austen? So Jane Austen was probably the most famous writer of her time. And I want to tell you about link building based on an analogy about Jane Austen. Are you guys okay with that? So in the Regency period, this is crazy. If we were in this room today, I could not meet somebody I didn't know unless somebody I already knew introduced me to them. So Christina met TJ when they walked in the room. I couldn't just walk up to TJ and say, hey, TJ, my name is Sarah. It would have been illegal back in those days. It's crazy, huh? So if you think about link building, you have what's called domain authority. And if you have a low domain authority, Google's like, you're like a peasant in England. But I'll introduce you to the other peasants. That's like getting a backlink from somebody with a low domain authority. But if you're a peasant, you're like, yay, I have more friends. Okay? But then the peasants, they might be connected to the farmers. And that might be somebody with a higher domain authority. They might have like a 40 on the domain authority. And that peasant now has more clout and more connections and more opportunity because now they're connected with a higher level service provider, right? And then you have the landowners. That would be somebody with a domain authority of like 60 or 80. And I'm starting to have more resources because those landowners are backlinking to my site. And I have more credibility and I have more money to buy a new outfit and I can have a bath twice a year, right? So the ultimate goal is to get introduced to King George, right? And in order to do that, we have to have backlinks, a growing quality of backlink. So if your domain authority is low, you can invest a smaller amount of money and get lower domain authority backlinks to your website. And as your domain authority gets higher, you can continue to invest in higher domain authority backlinks to your website, and that can help traffic. If you create new content and have an opportunity to build backlinks, that is the strategy to build your forest.